And welcome to the Nebraska Department of Education School Safety video series. Today's topic is the behavior bond. Other topics in this video series include the climate connection, school climate data in action, school safety, it begins with us, links to mental health, optimization of youth voice, and school safety and student success. These video vignettes are anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes in length and are designed to be watched by school staff members individually or by school teams together. Also, these vignettes may be watched in order or non-sequentially, dependent on school needs. My name is Heather Robbins, and I'll be your guide throughout this video series. Today's topic is the behavior bond. We hope that by the end of our short time together, you're able to describe the link between school safety and behavior, and that you're able to consider what proactive, preventive actions you can engage in on your campus to increase desired behavior from students. Let's talk about behavior. What is behavior? Behavior is anything we say or do. Behaviors are external actions that are manifestations of our thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Behavior is measurable. This is different from mental health. We're going to take a moment to take a look at some statistics from Protecting America's Schools, a U.S. Secret Service analysis of targeted school violence. These are the most egregious act of violence that could happen on our campus. 57% of attackers displayed behavioral symptoms including defiance towards authority, poor impulse control, and other violations of social norms. 80% of attackers were bullied by their classmates. This is the aggression continuum from Eric Johnson. Eric Johnson posits that aggression occurs in a continuum beginning with very low-level aggressive behavior, increasing to moderate, on to violent. And it behooves us to get in early at the low levels of aggressive behavior and provide instruction and intervention so the behavior doesn't escalate through the continuum. Without intervention, children with behavior disorders are at risk for chronic behavior problems, including aggression and noncompliance both inside and outside of school, also for suspension, expulsion, and future criminal behavior. A meta-analysis of 57 studies with 73,933 students showed a strong link between teacher-student relationships and students externalizing behavior problems. In other words, the stronger the teacher-student relationship, the less student externalizing behavior problems existed. Though weaker the teacher-student relationships, the more externalizing behavior problems were present. So there is a link between behavior and school safety, and there is a link between behavior and teacher-student relationships. These things are all linked together. Here are some data points from the Quaglia Institute My Voice survey from 2016. 48,185 students in grades 6 through 12 in 249 schools across 14 states were surveyed. I'll give you a moment to reflect on the data points. Respect is a behavior. So we'll want to teach, model, and practice exactly what respectful behavior looks like in order to have that behavior on our campus. We want students to support one another. We want to make sure that we address bullying behavior. Note that I'm saying not bullies, but bullying behavior. And we want to make sure that if we're looking to increase desired behavior, we're recognizing students that are kind and helpful on our campus. Students who feel safe have fewer conduct problems and in turn are more likely to have positive peer interactions, which helps them throughout life. So we know, we understand, we see that there's a connection between school safety and student behavior. Now what? What does that mean for us as a campus? There are things we can do. And one of the very first things we can do to address behavior and safety is to ensure that students are connected to the adults on the campus. And you will see that this is a prevalent theme throughout all of our video vignettes. Connectedness is hugely important. If you'd like more information on connectedness, you may be interested in viewing the video vignette entitled School Safety, It Begins with Us. So we need to ensure students are connected to adults. We also need to be teaching social, emotional, and behavioral skills explicitly and directly to students. We want to teach expected behaviors, not what not to do, but what to do, the expectations, expected behaviors. We want to teach routines and procedures so students have a predictable environment and they understand what is expected of them throughout the school day. We also need to be teaching social and emotional skills, self-awareness, self-management and self-regulation, social awareness, relationships, and responsible decision-making. When we teach social and emotional and behavioral skills explicitly, we get an increase in those skills because they've been expressly taught. We can also give frequent, positive, and specific feedback to students. We want to make sure we minimally meet that 5-to-1 ratio of positives to negatives, and we'd really like it to be even beyond that. We want to give students frequent, positive, and specific feedback, and it helps us in two ways. First off, when we're giving frequent, positive, and specific feedback, we're improving teacher-student relationships. And remember, there's a direct correlation between teacher-student relationships and student externalizing behavior issues. Secondarily, when we're giving that positive and specific feedback, students know exactly what they did and what the behaviors are that are expected on our campus. We also need to make sure that we are collecting, analyzing, and most importantly, problem-solving behavior data minimally monthly. Minimally monthly. Historically, we may have collected behavior data and reported it annually, and that was all. We're saying we want to move away from collecting and reporting to analyzing and problem solving, using this information the same way we use academic information to guide our decision making. So we want to problem solve that data, and we want to look at more than just the majors. Majors are already moving up the aggression continuum. That's reactive in nature. We want to make sure we're looking at our minor behaviors because this is where we can find percolating information that will allow us to, in turn, increase instruction and intervene early. Intervention early is the key. We want to prevent, we want to engage in instruction in the desired behaviors for our campus so we increase them, and we want to get in there and intervene early in the aggression continuum so that we prevent escalation of behavior. So here are a few questions for your campus to consider. Do the adults on your campus understand the link between school safety and behavior, teacher-student relationships and behavior, and school safety? Do you have preventative and instructional pieces in place to encourage desired behaviors on your campus? Behavior, social, emotional, and behavioral skills. Do we have preventative and instructional pieces in place? And finally, do you collect, analyze, and again, most importantly, problem solve behavior data, particularly minors, minimally monthly? We hope that in our short time together, you were able to describe the link between school safety and behavior, and that you've begun to consider what proactive preventive actions can you engage in on your campus to increase desired behavior from students. We thank you for attending, and we look forward to seeing you at the next school safety video vignette.